Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here, back with another tutorial. We're waiting for a battle here, and as we're waiting for a battle, we're going to pay attention with some of the stuff occurring. So yeah, we won. This gives you an idea. We won this battle up here, and we didn't get anything. We lost that one down there. Or is it Henry? We didn't get anyone that was famous there. So this is a bug right now that's going to be fixed next patch. Just all those policies have already been selected. So it's going to be the Army of the Southwest in contact the Army of the West. So before you get into battle, you can look at the numbers. So just hover over the, select your army. We got 97,000. 9,700. We can look at Army of the West. Our intelligence, just wait for the tooltip. And you can see what the battle is. Here it is. 9,000 men against 17,000 under Major General Van Dorn. We might, realistically, if I was doing the campaign, we would retreat off this. But we're not going to wait for another one. You can play the battle. You can auto-resolve like you've been doing. Deploy to defend, which essentially means that you're deploying and seeing if the enemy is going to take the battle. So, if both units don't offer to battle, in this case it looks like the enemy isn't offering to battle, we can both deploy to defend and we don't attack each other. We can withdraw or we can retreat. Withdrawal is like an orderly way to do it, and retreat is just all everyone run for their lives. We're going to take this battle because I want to show you what is in the tactical map, even if we get our asses kicked here. Oh, and it crashed. So sometimes you do it. Remember, ultimately, it is a game in early access. It is in beta. You're going to have some crashes. So, it happens. Things happen. So, he's going to bear with it. But in that case, if the enemy doesn't actually offer battle, you can just defend. And I think it goes into a siege mode. I've never actually defended. I've either attacked or withdrew. So, never actually deployed to defend. And here's kind of like, tells you there, the railroads. General Lorenz lands with his troops. I know there's some issues where the third battle crashes, in which they are addressing to fix. Seems like we are good. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go with it. The saving is pretty decent in this. But here we go. So, you have your deployment screen. Tell you the battle. Right now, all the battle names will go with where they are, but the battle maps, the only ones you have is the historical battles. So the next actual major add-on to the game is going to be new maps. So new maps outside of this that allow it to be generated so you're not always playing on a historical battle. So press continue. It tells you that if you hit play, it'll start the battle. But here is like the information. We're going up against 18,000, 46 guns. The army is green. Morale is eager because we haven't fought before. Their supply is outstanding. Supply state. And that is the second icon. This is flashing red because this brings up this. It wants to tell you that, hey, you can't zoom in and out because you're in the report. Main menu, and then you have your tools. Tools are Fog of War, Man Info, Routes will be when you select units, unit icons, ranges of all the units. It tells you who the battle is flowing towards, what day it is, the weather, light rain, 89 degrees, date. Do you have these morning reports? So we just saw the briefing. Objectives tells you what objectives on there. So if no one fights each other, the objectives deal who wins. So for example, if no one actually chooses to fight each other, it doesn't happen, then these matter. Or whoever withdraws. For reports, you have the Consolidated Overview Report, which is pretty much the general's report on service history, fighting spirits, training, readiness. Gives you an idea of what is the best division, what's the best corps. So on like that. Date raised, where they're from. The contract length is, I think the remaining contract is broken right now. And I think History Guy Gaming did send that one in. So I don't think it's reasonable for me to bombard them with the same thing. Number of battles, their fighting spirit is, what their training is, what their readiness, what their intel is, which I think is also bugged. And what the ranking is in all of the units in the army itself, I think. And some of the divisions are all 0. Actually, I have not a clue. Not a clue why it says 0. Okay? But this kind of gives you an idea of what your readiness is. Condition report is what the condition of the men, horses, and guns are, with the provisions, with the forage, the small arms, guns, and totals kind of give you the idea of ammunition. You're running out of supply. And that, of course, breaks down into smaller portions. Now you have the strength. This will tell you how many are on the field. So this is how many are on the field currently of aggregate last return. This is everyone out of the army. These are the numbers present for duty, however. This number actually does involve this. Remember. Or this. It's aggregate of present for duty. That's with the last return. This is the last muster. Same thing here with the Confederacy. This was the last muster. The last guns. They have 900 sick, we have 800. This breaks down into, you have multiple armies, what division, brigade, it breaks all the way down. You can get an idea of what's going on. This can also be tracked relatively real time to figure out how many casualties you've taken. But also how many casualties Confederacy has taken. Consolidated combat report will be kind of like the opposite of the strength. Instead of how many losses, how many each unit has killed. Essentially, how many casualties they've inflicted here, how many prisoners they've taken, inflicted on cav prisoners, casualties on artillery and prisoners taken, guns captured, that sort of thing. Now, I'm not sure if the guns captured ends up in your army, or if those guns captured transfers to your nearest depot. I have no idea. I have not tested it in my campaign. I think I will end up testing it, or I'll test it offline, figuring out if that is the case. So this should be times routed, number of engagements, things like that. I find these numbers become weird, especially when you're like physically commanding and clicking around. It can end up saying like 100, but obviously they haven't been in 100 engagements, so maybe it's I have no idea. So that is a consolidated combat report. Over the commander's report, this goes with the commanders. So we see Major General Curtis, and we see Major General Van Dorn. Number of battles, experience. So if they have any experience, it'll be here. Fame of the commanders. We see Seigel, Asboth, Card, Davis. Leadership, initiative, administration, cunning, what the ranking is. This is our best commander is Davis. We got 30s across. Our second would be Seigel. So it goes by fame. It looks like, because no one has any experience. It goes by fame. So you kind of can break that down into seeing everyone else. Here's Pike, Hello, Price. Price has 140 fame because he's boss. That's why he always ignores his commander. So there you have that. Now, have down here so when you look at your men, it's the same thing here. Ammunition. Cohesion is if they are disruptor or anything like that, would make them pour and attack, things like that. What their training is and what their status is. Status could be marching, firing, idle, melee. This is like what they're doing. Let's tell you what their commander is, what their division. This will cycle to a unit below them. Below them, you'll start seeing that this is actual infantry unit, so you have an expanded window. What weapon they have, what their ammunition number is. Remember, last time it just said ammunition 100. This is the entire division ammunition stat. This tells you how many shots this particular infantry brigade has, what the melee, how good they are at melee, what their cover is, so it could be light cover, good cover, things like that, and you kind of see it on some of the symbols, and what their status is, marching, firing, blah, 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 what their situation in symbols. So they're supported because they're next to other units and they're within their commander's circle. Cohesion is intact. They're well rested, so they can have fatigue. Get high fatigue for after a day's fighting if it goes the next day. Want to cycle out units, kind of like a Gettysburg type deal, where all the fighting happened on the flanks, so they put fresh troops on the flanks, that sort of thing. What their training is. Let me get the overall commander. So what you can do here is if you're having issues actually getting the entire commander, just press the up button. This goes up on the order of battle. OOB is order of battle. So I press up. I got Samuel Curtis, who is the commanding general of the Army of the Southwest. Right click, put the army down here. So in this particular one, this is our area we can deploy. We're going to deploy it. I'm going to spin the map just to make this a bit easier so we can look. So right now we are in a formation that's a marching. Not a good combat formation. And right now, Confederates are coming from this way. So this arrow says that they're coming from this side of the map. So they could have a spawn that's the same thing around here. So they have some time to march. We can fortify. So this is AI stance. This allows you to give the commander an assault, attack, defend, screen. This goes along with this, allow initiative. If this is off, this does not work or does not work properly. You need both of them on to really take full advantage if you want tactics. Otherwise, in this state with allow initiative, the commander does whatever. This allows you to say, commander, do whatever, but I want you to assault. Commander, do whatever, but I want you to attack. You get the gist. Defend, screen, that sort of thing. This is your formation. So you have marching formations. These two formations are new. This allows you to pretty much round out your flanks. Your double line. So that would be like this. Successive lines be like this. Marching columns we were in. Attack column puts everyone in line. Or single line. I tend to go single line because it's just better to do it. And then you have infantry, which you go short range, medium range, long range. I typically go long range. Right now they're at medium range. That's what this dotted line is. And they will not fire until the enemy gets within that dotted line. They typically do long range. So once they hit it, they start firing. And then you kind of go from there. You have charge, skirmishers, which puts out skirmishers, and then lay down, which will give you cover, but you reload slower. So that's a good way to think about it. So with cav, you have mounting, dismounting, which is good for cav like this, which are Springfield muskets. They can fire them on horseback, but they lack the ability to go into cover. So dismounting them allows you to put them in cover. Evade, which is essentially just hit and run. Cold Steel, which is charge. Scouts, which you're just trying to get some vision. There's some other ones, but they have to be dismounted. Same thing with artillery here. Artillery, you have limbering. They are in unlimbered status. They're ready to fire. This puts them in movement. Fire at will, counter battery fire, and bombardment. Talking for 2 hours straight really stresses the throat. So, bombardment allows you to essentially right mouse click on an area, designate an area that should be shot, and then from there, they'll set up and do it. Fire at will is they just fire at everyone. So, how this is set up is the preferred way to do it. I've had multiple issues in putting artillery behind infantry lines, even on hills, like this portion where the artillery is up here, the infantry is down here. I've had issues with the artillery shooting at things over here. When infantry is in front of them, or anything is in front of them, the cannons tend to not be able to fire very well. So, be aware on that. And like 6-pound ward rifles that are more of, I think these are more of the longer range. I want to say ward rifles are rifled cannons, but don't quote me on that. But like the rifled cannons and that, you want to use them for counter battery fire. These ones you want to use for against infantry. This tells you 48, 64, 16. Tells you like long range, medium, and short, or it might be the other way around. Yeah, this is long range, medium range, short range munitions. So solid shot, whatever medium range is, what? Exploding shot in canister. So kind of gives you an idea there. Commander, you can rally, you can detach, which detaches this from its commander. I'm not sure if the orders work the same. Unsure. Allow initiative, which allows this unit to have initiative. So you can automatically have it to use roads, high ground, cover. So these allow you to literally just put them in cover easily. We have the ability to build fortifications in this battle. Parapets, breastworks. Parapets are more like trenches, like World War II style trenches. World War I style, I'm sorry. Trenches. And this is like your breastworks that are more of like wooden buildable walls, essentially. This is your movement, so your double time, normal. Actually, this is double time. This is probably triple time, which is a perk. Stop. Here you can get army orders. You can ask for retreat or surrender. They used to have another one for ceasefire, but they took it out because the AI uses it weirdly. Got the OOB button, so you can look at all of your units. 2nd Division, 1st Brigade, so on and so forth. Over here on the right side, you have your engineering points, supplies, which tells you what the supply condition of your army is, field, and your points. So that is the gist of it here. We have a weird thing where I can actually build more of my engineering points. Don't ask me how. Just weird thing that happens. So we're going to start the battle by pressing play. And then we are going to wait. The enemy. I'm going to go in a defensive position. Remember, we are outnumbered drastically here. So we are going to get ourselves a very, very good defensive position. We have that. Take the 6-pounder mortar rifles. I'm going to put them in the middle. These 6-pounders, I'm going to put them here. These ones I'm going to put here. Put these ones here. So essentially what we're doing is putting ourselves into a massive defensive position, which are key in this game. Absolutely key for sensitive wars. So this is low cohesion because they're moving, they're a little bit disorganized. This yellow means they're in cover. If it's green, that means you're in good cover. So remember that portion. It could save your army. Okay, so Army of the Southwest, we want to go long range. So here I give an order to the Army Commander. He is now going to give the orders to the division. Division Commander is then going to put down the orders to the brigades. So that's what happens when I give an order at the Army level. If I give it at the Corps level, same thing will happen. If I give it at the brigade level, the orders only come from the division. That's one thing to remember. Brigade orders given come from the division. Any other orders given to the division or a corps come from the army itself. So, good thing to remember. Don't like this position we're in. Slide here. So what we have here, split it up a little bit, is charge, advance, fall back, retreat, move at signal, move at time. So essentially if it gives you a signal. If you're advancing towards an enemy front, you want to advance like this. This will fire and move at the same time. So they will move into a position very favorable like this. You can fall back or retreat. Fall back kind of helps you get the unit to do it quickly. So what you can do is you can look at stars. Kind of cheat a little bit. All stars that have turned red. Don't see where the Confederacies come from. A whole lot of stars, so have that. This is your notifications, dispatch log. If anyone gets into contact, anyone routes, anyone retreats, if anyone comes on the field, any of their units retreat. So that kind of what you get from the dispatch log. So I just saw that. Yes. What we're doing here is we have the 3D map, and in this map, with this map you can see movement in your range a lot better. That's why I'm looking at. Very nervous about it. Coming action. So this one is to build, like we saw before, but you can't build anything. So. Sometimes it takes a while. Can do. Cavalry mounted. Move him. Scout forward. Since we're at 10 times, he's going to move pretty quick. Once he gets the order, you got the order. You move by road because it's quicker. Retreat back and go around. We're scouting for enemy positions. So looking, seeing anything. Still not seeing anything. Worries me. Again, I give him orders. It's going to take some time for him to get those orders. Got him. Moving up. Defensive line right here. There. They came this way. Are they coming at my flank? Question. Cab is way out here. Not seeing any units along this road. Or this one. Yep, okay, we're seeing cavalry. Cavalry's going to move towards mine. I don't like that. We're going to back up. He doesn't have the range. Got the orders. See that they're right there. Back up a little bit. Our cav. Turn. See that he's moving here. Right in here is wood, so it'd be difficult to pick up. He is cav, so let's give my orders to back up. Remember, orders take some time to get here. He's screening his infantry right now in his movements. I actually feel like I'm in a stronger position here. Than I would be here. This just looks like a difficult position to hold. This one looks better. Okay, since he is there, I'm going to actually move my infantry here. At least we have a unified front. If he takes this turn, it's going to be difficult to deal with, I think. Because then we need to our front box. Means we had to shift everyone over here. That is if he takes this route. Again, our guy with a cav, seeing infantry, move back. He is taking that route. Taking both routes. Now see, it takes some time to get those orders, so now he kind of went all the way back. So Farmer Pratt's storm. Remember, it's only 11:30 in the morning. His dispatch, Pratt's store is taken. Means that was when we took Pratt's store there. Okay, so they are going this way. Let's shift this line. Let's shift our cannons too. Leave our cannons out there. We're going to leave this one as our rear defense. There you saw a courier come up. Okay, as you see here, they're making the same thing, so we have to do a movement back. A lot of shifting lines. Remember, they outnumber us, so... Oof. Here they come. So remember, we're in this very fortified position. There's our cannons. Cannons are opening up. Open up on the artillery with some explosive shot. Cannons are very weird. They're getting in line. They also have a unit, Frost Brigade, that's already having some issues. We're hitting them with a lot of artillery. Our men are situated. They're ready for the enemy advance. They're going to come right up the middle, I think. These are our best units right here. We're already hitting them. Cannons. We can turn and face while still in cover. So that's one thing to remember. Fire. They are shifting. Shift. Bad news. Take our cab over here. Yeah, likes to concentrate their forces, so this could be a sweep to the side. And again, see, I'm having issues having these cannons fire constantly. I'm gonna move those ones up. These ones aren't firing. I'm going to secure my right with my other cannons. But as you fight, you also get the possibility of getting perks. One perk for each brigade. We should get some perks here. Speed it up. Here they come. Okay, we'll hit play here. They're coming right at my divisions. Okay, notice we're firing with our smoothbores. They're outflanked, so that's one thing you want. That means they're taking numerous fire, at least from the left and the right. If it gets red, it means they're getting hit from more than two sides. Well, that's one thing that's important to know. This unit is not firing because it is blocked by this one, but just simply moving them and adjusting units, just like that, should get you a good line of sight. This unit's now opened up on the flank of this one. And now so should that one. So if they're blinking red like this, this means they are faltering. They're losing morale. And if you keep on hitting them, they will break. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sweeping motion on their cannons. So we're going to set advance so they move and shoot. We're going to hit their cannons and attack their rear. Again, I'm going to move these guns up here. The unit's outflanked. These two units are really in reserve in case these ones break. Here comes the 1st Brigade. They're going to come up to Julius White and start attacking that. And this is where influent fire works wonders here. Get them in an area where you can get a lot of good fire on them. Sometimes cannons hate the fire. You just gotta adjust them a little bit. They'll kind of move. Like in most things right now, this one is getting outflanked in multiple directions. So it's turn. We want to hit that one. I'm unsure if it works this way. You can hit this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn this. We're going to use regular orders. I'm going to take the cavalry unit, and the cavalry unit is going to go here. So this commander decided to come out, Benton, come out of his fortifications and fire. So it's an interesting move there. These two units are too close, and they're covering fire. Okay, here's one that's turned red. That means these are retreating units. You see them by the map here. They have the broken symbol. It means they are broken. They are retreating. They have a probability of coming back However, it does not mean they actually will come back. So we are going to come out of our fortifications and we are going to counterattack. Might ask why I'm counterattacking a force that's larger than mine. We have them on the ropes right now. We can cause a mass rout and force the enemy to not want to actually... So this commander wants to stay in fortifications. Okay? Here's the end of the day. When you hit the end of the day, everyone gets supplies. Everyone starts like this, maneuver forces around. What I like to do is actually just continue to battle from here. Here is this. This gives up our portion. We've lost 175 men the first day's fight. Looking at the morning report. Strength. Literacy has lost 1,500, approximately, 9% of their force. So we are going to keep going. Here. We have a weird thing happening where sometimes in the morning there's orders for them to like go way side, and sometimes they don't actually begin fighting or weird stuff like that. Okay. They're holding reserves back. Kind of are as well. But here's the first perk. This is what we can get. Engineering, which allows you to get engineering points. Sharpshooters, which gets some better deadlier volley, essentially. A better aiming, more accuracy. Suave, which is... that I don't know. Is it skirmishers? Let's see. By theory, she is drilled in fast movement, so it makes them faster on the battlefield. Expert skirmishers makes your skirmishers better. Spirited charge, actually charge. Deadly volley allows your infantry to engage and be better at maintaining fire discipline. So only release the volley when the effect is assured. Ace of Spade, which is... I think this is another one that's engineering. Improve cover. Yeah. And Iron Discipline. So it allows you to stay in rank. Here, we're going to take sharpshooters. Let's look at the tooltip. Yeah, so accuracy being its fire. Deadly volley with them. And then this goes up to 3 as well, so. We're to assault. Pretty much have won today. I've told the men to assault. They're actually moving back into defensive positions. Move back into that defense. Actually turn the enemy here. Or to the enemy. Sometimes you have this when they're in melee and they're really not. You just have to retreat them like that and they'll get out of that melee stance that they're not really in. Southwest, I want you to actually hold your fire. See what the commander does. Now that we've kind of seen this, we're not fighting this to take any pride. Let's see what the commander does. He's attacking the artillery here. 2nd Brigade. 1st Brigade is backing them up. Looks like he has chosen to charge the artillery. That brigade. And that's generally a good tactic there. The house is burning. Okay, so that's one that's down. Looks like Van Dorn is shifting his line to the flank. 2nd Brigade Cav is in the way here. First commander under Seigel is going to be moving up and taking down this detachment of skirmishers. Actually, they're trying to take over those cannons. And that's what Seidfur's done. Seidfur's taken over the cannons. So they are part of 2nd Brigade. Yes, because they're considered skirmishers. Okay, so does that... We can actually test this theory. If cannons. Alright, we're going to charge that detachment. Okay. Good block. Indian Brigade is a heavier unit. Here goes, I'm going to help him out a little bit. Help him out a little bit. Oh, that didn't work. That's what happens when they rout. We're assaulting the line here. Oh, my bad. We want to attack. We don't want to assault. Assault is charge. I feel like an idiot. Do we have good inflict fire here? We're getting outflanked. But we are about to do the same to them. We're charging into cav here. We charged with 2 units there and it did not work. How would you walk in front there? So see, the commanders have some difficulties in handling combat. Like, for me, this is an easy battle one. Like, you don't retreat like that in the face of the enemy. In reality, I would just be in cover like this. Like, just getting this cover, and you have it. This is why you fight with commanders a lot. So like that one's breaking. One thing I will say, this makes a valid point on actually having an artillery brigade division like this. More tutorial time. Division like this. And actually having it controlled by the AI. Because they are just going to town. So that I've kind of figured out. At the end of the day, we need to do that. Defense stance. Yeah, let's see how they do in defending here. Okay, detachments, skirmishers. Oh, screening skirmishers on defense. That's amazing. That is smart. Where's Grand Battery? I've never actually looked at the battery perks. Field lane. That would be one for like that one. Okay, yep. That solves it. You absolutely need to have your artillery in a separate brigade that you can literally just allow them to fire. That's so good. There it goes. AI is smart with that. Measures, defense position. See what it looks like, the aggregate on the field. Our attack. Bloody. For us. Salt. Salting would literally have you charge. We're on a retreat because that's going to be the end of it. They actually retreated, so that's kind of how battles work. We kind of watch the AI, so you'll have to watch how it is. The cannons, though, are massively fixed when you let the AI control them. Like, let's look at this. Go away. Yeah. Gonna have to see through it then. Fortunately, this not there. We'll have to let's see if we can see it on the actual screen. See, that's why they need to fix national morale battles. You'll have this thing where Colonel Grusel, for us, retreated, so he's fallen from disgrace. That's how you get the famed portion. And then Colonel White, for us, did a good job. So that's really the tutorial for battles. We fought one battle. I kind of showed you how everything worked, what the buttons were. tactics, and then we let the AI really kind of roll with it from that. So, unfortunately, we weren't able to see what ultimately what our casualties dealt were. As typically there is history, but history has not been here. So one thing to remember, while we were fighting that battle, these two units, because he retreated out, he is already in a retreat. If it's a point where that battle was going on, it typically would let us fight it, and then that would be in a battle, but they kind of changed that whole thing. But yeah, that is the battle portion. Remember, if you're having issues with cannons, put them in a separate division. Like, can I show you how to do that? What you do here is you add a new group. You'll add a new division. And then put those in that said division. So. Then have the AI control this division. Amazing. Then you control the rest of the troops from there. That's what this add new group is. If you add new unit under it, it'll go directly under it like so. Are you here? Anna. It'll go directly under Curtis, so this unit will be attached to here. You see new group adds this. If you go in a division where you have a army, if you add this, it adds a new corps. See here, 3 axes, it adds a new corps on the map, which you can put stuff directly under the corps. Then same thing, corps applies. Division, you can put the divisions on them, so on and so forth. If you have an instance where you have a corps and a corps, and you say you want to put this division under this corps, they are not together, it will take a couple days to get there. Just be aware of that. Even if you move them back, it will still take a couple days. So be aware that even moving things within armies is not instant, including headquarters to a corps. Not instant. So one thing to remember, we didn't hit really anything on fleets, but if you know how fleets work, just let me know, because I get the gist of the stance, defense, offense. Works the same thing as it does with that. Fleet orders, your blockade or patrol, movement, stop, return to port, returns to its port or nearest port. Ones have river, sea, and rivers. These can go on rivers as well. They'll have some that only sea, which can only be in sea areas. They'll come up red. This one's in a river. This one's out at sea. This one's in a river, Mississippi River Squadron, so you can't put the sloops on there. So the thing I do not know is, well, if you build one, how long does it take? Condition? When does this get to 100? Like, my issues with fleets stem from I don't understand fleets. Officers, of course, you can look at the officers by themselves. Signed, West Point. You can look at all the officers. This is everyone in the pool that you'll be able to see. So, Alec, Dix, Tyler, Thomas, McLean, Davies, Miles, So this is all of your officers. When you go to put someone in a command, it'll show up sometimes differently. So be aware of that. There is some bugs with commanders right now, so those should be fixed. The next patch, it's on Wednesday, I think. So tomorrow or so. Next couple of days. So some of the issues with commanders fixed. You saw the tooltip will give you everything the commander is if you don't have them selected. Like we see Daniel Tyler here. It'll use the names of the stars. So he's a captain. 62 is fame's insignificant. Initiative passive, leadership like, mediocre, administrator, foreseeable. His professional officer is artillery and he has pre-war experience, meaning he is a veteran. I don't know why they called him a... Everyone a captain? Kind of noticed that in the tooltips. Commander. Is it giving naval ranks? Captain. Major General. See what it says. It is. It's literally because I was just in fleets. If I go in armies and officers, it should fix the tooltip. The keyword is should. Maybe the tooltip's just messed up. Who knows? Yeah, tooltips are messed up. And yeah, some bleed in. Game's in beta, it happens. So. Alright guys, that will end the tactical and military stuff. So we fought a battle. It's an hour and 20-minute long video. Yeah, it happens when you're going through a battle. We kind of explored some of the AI, how it works, things like that. So go ahead and leave a comment below if there's any other questions you have on the game. I'll be gone till Saturday, actually, not Sunday. Saturday. So I'll be able to answer your comments, but as for another tutorial video or any things that I haven't recorded already, I have a log of things to put on the channel while I'm gone. So there will be content there. But if you're looking for another tutorial video, I'll have to wait till then. So I will see you guys next video. Later.